University Challenge. Asking the questions, Jeremy Paxman.
Hello, always more of a marathon than a sprint. The quarter-final round of this competition has now reached the point at which we start to see the winning teams take their places in the semi-finals, with the first place going to whichever team wins tonight. The losers need not abandon hope, though, because they'll get one final chance to stay in the competition. The team representing Magdalene College, Cambridge, are here after beating University College, Oxford by 170 points to 130 in round one. In the second round, they beat Corpus Christi College, Oxford by 185 points to 115. And in their first quarter-final, they beat Birkbeck College, London by 240 points to 140. With an accumulated score of 595 points and with an average age of 31, let's meet the Magdalene team again.
Hello, I'm James Byrne. I'm from Wollongong City in Hertfordshire and I'm studying maths.
Hi, I'm Adam Davies from Wichita, Kansas, and I just graduated with a degree in history.
This is their captain.
Hello, I'm Daniel Lawson. I'm from the Wirral and I'm studying medicine.
Hello, I'm Kerry Payne. I'm from Little Wheaton in East Yorkshire and I'm studying theology for ministry.
Now, the team from Warwick are here having beaten two Oxford colleges, Wolfson in round one by 255 to 105 and Merton by 190 to 90 in the second round. Their first quarter-final victory was over Imperial College London with 200 to their opponent's 120. Their combined score is 645, therefore, and with an average age of 22, let's meet the Warwick team again.
Hi, I'm Richard Pollard. I'm from Cheshire and I'm studying history and politics.
Hello, I'm George Braid. I'm originally from Brighton and I was doing a PhD in physics.
This is their captain.
Hi, I'm Andrew Rao. I'm from Bearsted in Kent and I'm studying for a PhD in maths.
Hello, I'm Owen Borrell. I'm from Lancaster and I'm studying for a Masters in English Literature.
Well, you all know the rules, so let's just get on with it. 10 points at stake for this starter question. Figures on the buzzers, please. Described in Plato's Republic, the ring of Gyges grants what ability to its wearers?
Magdalene Davies.
Invisibility?
Correct. Your first set of bonuses are on philosophers, Magdalene. In the words of Bertrand Russell, I'd like you to identify the person from each of his descriptions. First, a combination of Einstein and Mrs. Eddy. He founded a religion of which the main tenets were the transmigration of souls and the sinfulness of eating beans.
Pythagoras.
Pythagoras?
Correct. Of whom did Russell quote a limerick by Ronald Knox saying, "There was a young man who said, God must think it exceedingly odd if he finds that this tree continues to be when there's no one about in the quad."
Tree. Oh, so this is the tree, the equivalent to tree falling and nobody hearing.
Yeah, but who was that?
The Scottish guy, Don Scotus.
Don Scotus? Yeah, don't know. Dun Scotus?
No, it's Bishop Berkeley. To understand his philosophy, one could compare it to the Abrahamic religions using a dictionary, with such translations as Yahweh equals dialectical materialism.
Kant? No.
Was it Mark?
Oh, it could be, couldn't it? Yeah. Marx? Marx?
Karl Marx is correct. 10 points for this. Which English county is the location of the neighbouring Iron Age hill forts of Cranbrook Castle, Prestonbury Castle?
Warwick Braid.
Devon.
Devon is correct, yes. Your bonuses are on the Infinity Stones, the objects featured in the films of Marvel Studios. Appearing in Captain America, the First Avenger, the object later revealed to contain the Space Stone is usually indicated by what name? Also the term for the four-dimensional analogue of the cube.
Tesseract. The Tesseract?
Correct. Introduced in the film Thor, The Dark World, by what name is the reality stone usually referred? It shares its name with a substance whose existence was disproved by the Michelson-Morley experiment.
Right. Ether?
Correct. And finally, the Infinity Stone depicted in the films as being purple is usually named after what attribute? This word also denotes a physical quantity that measures the rate of work over time.
Work over time is power. Right.
Yes.
Power?
Power is correct. 10 points for this. What single word has meanings that include, in biology, the act of bacterial cells taking up DNA from the environment?
Maudlin Lawson.
Conjugation.
No, you lose 5 points. In mathematics, a function that maps a set to itself. And in everyday speech, a profound change in appearance.
Warwick Burrell.
Transformation.
Correct. These bonuses are on a biological experiment, described as the most beautiful experiment in biology. Which experiment of 1958 is named after 2 US scientists and proved that DNA replication was semi-conservative?
Only one I know is Yuri Miller, and it's not that. Anything?
No, sorry.
Yuri Miller.
No, it's the Mendelssohn-Stahl experiment. The Mendelssohn-Stahl experiment relied on the measurement of the mass of the DNA of E. coli cells grown on 2 different isotopes of which chemical element?
Carbon or hydrogen?
Again, nothing.
Carbon probably makes more sense. Carbon?
No, it's nitrogen. And finally, in a landmark paper of 1953, which 2 scientists proposed the semi-conservative replication of DNA? They shared the 1962 Nobel Prize in Medicine with Maurice Wilkins.
Crick and Watson, maybe?
I was thinking that.
Crick and Watson?
Correct. 10 points for this. Which 3 letters all begin the following? The surname of the creator of Randall Patrick McMurphy, a Sikh religious doctrine regarding uncut hair, the town at the northern end of Derwentwater, and the small falcon, sometimes known as the windhopper.
Warwick Burrell.
KES.
Correct. These bonuses are on Central America. You'll need to give 2 answers in each case. Which 2 Central American countries border Mexico to the south and west?
Guatemala and Belize.
Okay, Guatemala and Belize.
Correct. Secondly, 3 countries have a coastline on the Gulf of Fonseca. Nicaragua is one. Name the other 2.
Costa Rica and
I
something.
think maybe Honduras and Costa Rica, maybe.
Okay, Honduras and Costa Rica.
No, it's Honduras and El Salvador. Which 2 Central American countries lie entirely south of the northernmost point of mainland South America?
Panama and Costa Rica, maybe.
Is it okay? Panama and Costa Rica.
Correct. Right. We're going to take a picture round now. For your picture starter, you're going to see a list of French prefixes. For 10 points, give the 7-letter French verb that can follow all 6 to give new verbs.
Maudlin Davies.
Prondra.
Correct. Let's see the whole thing. To learn, to understand, to undertake, to mistake, to retake, to surprise. So we follow on from that list of prefixes that can be used before the verb prendre. Your bonuses are 3 more lists of French prefixes, and again, I want you to give the single infinitive of the given length that can follow all items on the list. First, a 5-letter infinitive.
Être.
Être.
Yeah.
No. Veneer. Veneer.
Veneer, so like souvenir. Yeah. Veneer.
No, it's tenir.
Ah.
Let's see the whole thing. And secondly, a 4-letter infinitive.
If it's a verb in itself.
V-I-R-E.
V-I-R-E, does that work?
V-I-R-E.
I don't know that.
Or lude, L-U-D-E. I'm not just I don't know the French, but that's the English word.
Interlude, yeah. I think what Kerry said.
What did you say?
Veer.
Via. Via.
No, voir.
Voir.
No, you're wrong. It's dear.
Dear.
Let's see the whole thing. And finally, another 5-letter infinitive.
Well, that circon one. What would that be? Circon.
Sorry, I'm just really stressed. This is veneer.
Could this be veneer?
I think this is veneer.
Veneer.
Yeah, this is veneer.
Okay, veneer.
Veneer is correct. We need to come. Right, 10 points for this. Containing only 2 different letters of the alphabet, what 4-letter name links a comic strip created in 1935 by Marjorie Buell, an opera by Alban Berg, based on the plays of Frank
Warwick
Baedeker?
Braid.
Lulu.
Lulu is correct, yes. So you get a set of bonuses on a family of birds. In Ovid's Metamorphoses, Alcyone, the daughter of Aeolus, is transformed by Zeus into a member of what family of birds? Alcyone's name is the origin of the phrase halcyon days.
Kingfisher.
Sure. Kingfisher.
Correct. As kingfishers catch fire, dragonflies draw flame. As tumbled over rim in roundy wells, stones ring. Which 19th century poet wrote those lines?
Anthony Hopkins.
Hopkins.
Correct. And finally, native to Australia, kingfishers of the genus Dacello are known by what name thought to evoke their laughter-like call?
That kookaburra.
That could be Kookaburra.
Kookaburra is correct. 10 points for this. Partly autobiographical and concerning a self-taught working man, Martin Eden is a 1909 novel by which US author described as a transcontinental hobo at 16, a New York State prisoner at 18, and a Yukon prospector at 21. His other works include The Iron Heel and White Fang.
Warwick Pollard.
Jack London.
Jack London is correct. Your bonuses are on English place names. Firstly, the surname of which US president appears at the end of the names of several cities, including the county town of Essex, and the city whose metropolitan area includes the birthplace of the Bronte siblings.
Ford. Chelmsford, right? Yeah. Ford.
Gerald Ford is correct. Secondly, beginning with the name of a US president, which village was the home of the poet Rupert Brooke? It is the setting for his poem that begins, "Just now the lilac is in bloom."
I don't know, US president with a short name.
Grant.
Yeah, it could be Grant.
No, I can't accept that. I'm sorry, it's Grantchester. I did say it began with the name of a US president. Yeah. And finally, containing a name shared by two US presidents, which district of West London is the home of Queen's Park Rangers Football Club and was the setting for the sitcom Steptoe and Son?
I was going to say Chelsea, but no. Kensington, is there a president in there?
I don't think so, no.
I mean, other West London boroughs, do we know any?
Kingston, Richmond, I can't think of any.
Kensington.
Kensington? No, it's Shepherd's Bush. Right, 10 points for this. In a two-body orbital system with masses m1 and m2, what name is given to the quantity equal to the formula m1 times m2 divided by m1 plus m2? The quantity may be used...
Warwick Braid.
Reduced mass.
Reduced mass is correct. These questions are on a Mediterranean island for your bonuses. Among the oldest structures in the world, the megalithic temples of Skorba and Tarshian are located on which island?
Is that Malta?
Malta? It could be. It's got, yeah, Malta.
Correct. The Co-Cathedral of St. John in Valletta is home to the beheading of St. John the Baptist, the largest and only signed work by which artist? He fled to Malta in 1607 to escape a murder charge.
Caravaggio.
Yeah, Caravaggio.
Correct. 2015 saw the opening of a new Parliament building in Malta, designed by which architect? His other designs include the Pompidou Centre and the New York Times building.
Renzo Piano. Renzo Piano?
Correct. 10 points for this. In the 1950s, the Duke and Duchess of Windsor, Richard Nixon and Brigitte Bardot were among the subjects asked to perform what action by the photographer Philippe Holzman? The action also features in the titles of hits from the 1980s for the Pointer Sisters and Van Halen.
Warwick Burrell.
Jump.
Jump is correct, yes. These bonuses are on physics. In each case, the answer is a term that combines one Greek and one Roman letter. In circuit analysis, which two letters denote equivalent electrical networks for systems of three resistors? Other names include pi-t or star mesh transformations.
Don't know what this is.
Epsilon and... Sure, epsilon and R.
That's delta Y. And found and named independently in 1974 by teams from Brookhaven and Stanford, which two letters denote the ground state form of the mesencharmonium?
It's J and psi.
Sorry?
J and psi.
J and psi.
Yeah.
J and psi.
Correct. Which Greek letter and Roman subscript are used to denote the Bohr magneton, a constant that acts as a unit when measuring magnetic moments?
Mu B.
Mu and V.
Mu.
Mu
B.
and V.
B.
B. Mu and B.
Correct, yes. Right, we're going to take a music round now. For your music starter, you're going to hear a piece of classical music. For 10 points, please give me the name of its composer.
Maudlin Lawson.
Chopin.
Chopin is correct, yes. The piece you heard was one of Chopin's cycle of 24 preludes, which comprises one piece in each of the 24 major and minor keys. Your music bonuses are from 3 more works conceived to cover all the keys of the chromatic scale. Name the composer of each, please. Firstly, this Russian composer.
Prokofiev. Borodin.
I mean, no, not really.
Prokofiev.
No, that's by Shostakovich. Secondly, this 20th century German composer.
Strauss.
Richard Strauss,
Yeah.
the latest Strauss.
Richard Strauss.
No, that's Paul Hindemith. And finally, another German composer.
Bach, because the well-tempered clavier comes from them, doesn't it?
Bach.
It is J.S. Bach, yes. Right, another starter question now. 10 points for this. Their name meaning round eye in Greek. Which group of mythical giants gives its name to an ancient style of...
Maudlin Lawson.
Cyclops.
Cyclops is correct, yes. Right, your bonuses are on an ancient civilization. Under King Muatalis, which tribe or civilization fought the invading army of the Egyptian king Ramses II at the Battle of Kadesh in modern-day Syria in the 13th century BC?
Hittites.
Hittites is correct. Which major city did the Hittites raid in 1595 BC, ending the supremacy of the Amorite dynasty, whose previous rulers had included King Hammurabi?
Babylon.
Hammurabi was Babylon, yeah.
Babylon. Babylon.
Babylon is correct. The site of the Hittites' ancient capital, Hattusa, is in what country?
Turkey.
It is now occupied by the settlement of Boazkoy.
Turkey.
Turkey is correct. 10 points for this. Answer as soon as your name is called, giving a fraction in its lowest terms, using a randomly shuffled regular pack of playing cards minus the joker. What is the probability that the top 2 cards are of the same suit?
Maudlin Byrne.
1 in 4.
No. Anybody want to buzz from Warwick?
Warwick Rout.
4 in 26. No.
No, it's 4/17. Right, another starter question then. Organised by mill workers calling themselves the Equitable Pioneers, what organisation began in 1844 in Toad Lane, Rochdale, selling goods...
Maudlin Payne.
The Cooperative Society.
Correct. Your bonuses are on pairs of names in which the last letters of the first name and the first letters of the second spell the name of a Greek letter. For example, Wickham and Tangier. Give beta between them. In each case, give both names from the descriptions. Firstly, an 1882 Savoy opera subtitled The Pier and the Perry, and a pungent sauce named after a Mexican state.
I think one of them.
Tabasco.
Tabasco, so it's ending TA. Is ending...
HMS, so it's a Gordon Sullivan. So the
Zeddy.
Pier and the Perry, HMS Pinner 4, does that work? Or
No, because that's feta,
HMS Pinner 4.
and that's a cheese.
The Pier and the Perry. The Gondoliers? No.
No, not RS. It's ending TA, so you could have Zeta, that's ZE.
Eta.
No, because you need to do 2
Is it
letters.
4 letters?
It's a 4-letter.
So we need 2 letters at the end that. The Pier.
Pirates of Penzance.
Yeah, is that it? Yeah. The Pirates of Penzance and Tabasco.
No, it's Iolanthe in Tabasco. Bad luck.
Penzance doesn't
Gives us theta. 2 Romans, the general who defeated Hannibal at the Battle of Zama, and the historian who wrote the Agricola, the Germania, and the Annals.
Scipio and Tacitus.
Scipio, Tacitus. Iota, yeah. No.
Yeah.
Scipio and Tacitus.
Correct. And finally, the Finnish name for Finland, and a son of Uranus and Gaia, who's often identified with the Roman Saturn.
What?
Suomi and
Suomi, S-U-O-M-I, isn't it?
Kronos, that's it.
Yeah.
Kronos, because of Kronos devouring.
so
Swimming Kronos.
No.
Yeah, Micro.
yeah.
Oh, no, that's not, yeah.
Micron.
Swimming.
Like-
Omicron.
No, that's not a Greek
Omicron is
letter.
Omicron.
Omicron is a Greek
Omicron.
Omicron is
Suomi
a
and Micro. Kronos.
Yeah,
so
okay,
Omicron.
sorry.
Suomi and Kronos.
Correct. Well done. What a pleasure it was watching you work that out. Another starter question. In 1884, the Scottish zoologist William Hay Caldwell sent a telegram that read, Monotremes oviparous, ovum meroblastic. This related to his study in Australia of which mammal, not previously well understood by...
Madeline Davies.
The platypus?
It was the duck-billed platypus, yes. Right, you get a set of bonuses on the Pacific. The Gilbert Islands and the Phoenix Islands both form part of which country in the tropical Pacific?
Kiribati.
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 Kiribati is correct, yes. Which country contains the larger part of the Caroline Islands group? Its maritime territory lies directly east of that of Palau and contains the trench of Challenger Deep.
I think it's
Mariana Islands.
No,
We do the country.
Is that...
is it what country? Or, I don't know. I don't think it's.
Could be Micronesia.
I think it's Micronesia.
Federated States of Micronesia.
Unless it's
Let's go Micronesia.
Guam or
Micronesia.
It is Micronesia, you're right. Which country was formerly called the New Hebrides? It was renamed when it became independent in 1980.
Is that Vanuatu?
Yeah,
I think it's
Vanuatu.
Vanuatu.
New Hebrides, Vanuatu.
Yeah.
Vanuatu.
Vanuatu is correct. We're going to take a picture round now. For your picture starter, you're going to see a photograph of a dress. For 10 points, please name its designer.
Warwick Rout.
Mary Quant.
It is Mary Quant, yes. That dress by Mary Quant was the first work to be named Dress of the Year by the Fashion Museum in Bath. For your bonuses, you're going to see 3 more outfits named Dress of the Year by this museum. Give the name of the designer or the fashion house in each case. Firstly, the Dress of the Year for 2000.
It's a funky dress. Someone give me one.
I have no idea at all.
Yves Saint Laurent? Probably not. That's a guy, right?
I can't help you
Versace.
here. Yeah, why not?
Versace.
It is Versace, yes. Are they all the same to you, these designers?
Just a little bit.
Secondly, the Dress of the Year for 1986.
It's a great dress. Come on, I've done my bit. It's your guys' job.
I know less than nothing on this.
Can you give me a designer?
Probably no.
No.
Coco Chanel. Coco Chanel.
I think she was dead by then, wasn't she? It was 1986. It was Armani. Finally, the Dress of the Year for 2017.
Who did the Team GB things? It could be them. McQueen.
That's possible, but I don't know.
McQueen.
No, that was Maria Grazia Chiuri for Christian Dior. Right, 10 points for this starter question. Which element of the periodic table yields series of spectral lines named after Humphreys, Fund, Brackett, Passion, Bulmer and Lyman?
Warwick Rout.
Hydrogen.
Hydrogen is correct. You get a set of bonuses on emperors, estimated to have been 9 feet tall. What species of animal was the Emperor of Exmoor killed in 2010? I need a precise 2-word name in Latin or English.
Red deer or something. It's a bit tall. Anything?
That sounds quite reasonable. So
Okay. The red deer.
Red deer is correct. The Emperor of Ice Cream appears along with Peter Quince at the clavier and Domination of Black in a 1923 collection by which US poet?
So this is Wallace Stevens, right? Stevens.
Correct. And finally, The Emperor of Lancashire is a song performed by which artist in the 1940 film Didn't It Turn Out Well?
Who's the one that does When I'm Cleaning Windows?
George Formby.
Yeah.
Formby.
Yeah.
Formby.
George Formby is correct. Which of Shakespeare's title characters is killed by Sir Piers of Exton? The scene of the killing being the castle of Pomfret. The corpse is taken to Windsor and displayed...
Warwick Braid.
Richard II.
Richard II is correct. These bonuses are on the films of Ken Loach. Filmed in drama documentary style by Ken Loach, which 1966 television play concerns the disintegration of a working-class family through unemployment and homelessness?
No,
We got any reasonable guess?
not at all.
Pass.
That was Cathy Come Home. Loach's 1970 film, Kes, is an adaptation of A Kestrel for a Knave, a novel by which Yorkshire-born author?
Anything?
Can't think of it.
Give me an author.
Come on.
I can't.
Pass.
It's by Barry Hines. And portraying the Irish struggle against British rule in the 1920s, which 2006 film by Ken Loach won the Palme d'Or at the Cannes Film Festival?
The Wind That Shakes the Barley, I think.
Nominate Pollard.
The Wind That Shakes the Barley?
Correct. 10 points for this. Answer as soon as your name is called. Which two elements are named after the Earth and the Moon?
Warren Crouch.
Helium and selenium.
No?
Magdalene Byrne.
Selenium and tellurium.
Correct. You get a set of bonuses on chemical nomenclature. In each case, I need the spelling of the standard 2- or 3-letter suffix for naming a molecule in the organic group described. First, a saturated acyclic hydrocarbon.
A-N-E.
Yep.
A-N-E.
Correct. Secondly, a univalent radical derived from an unbranched alkane by the removal of a hydrogen atom from a terminal carbon atom.
Y-L.
Yeah, well, Kyle, alkyl, or YL.
K-Y-L.
I think it's
No,
probably
just
YL, isn't it?
Y-L.
Correct. And finally, an acyclic hydrocarbon containing one carbon-carbon triple bond.
That's YNE, isn't it? Alkyne.
Y-N-E.
Correct. 10 points for this. From the early 15th century, John the Fearless, Philip the Good and Charles the Bold were successive rulers.
Magdalene Byrne.
Burgundy.
Burgundy is correct. These bonuses are on areas of outstanding natural beauty. Meeting the sea at Belfast Lough, which river precedes the word valley in the name of an AONB in Northern Ireland?
Well, Belfast is Lagan. Could that be it?
Yeah, could be.
Lagan. Lagan.
Lagan is correct. Which two rivers that rise in rails appear in the names of AONBs? One joins the Severn at Chepstow, the other forms a long sandy estuary to the east of Flint.
So Y and D.
Y and-
Y and D.
Yeah.
Y and D.
Correct. Which AONB is named after the river that forms much of the boundary between Devon and Cornwall?
X. X. No.
No, it's alongside. It'd be.
Come on.
Oh,
Tane?
Sorry.
Tane?
Tane. No, Tane. Maybe Tane.
go for it.
Tane.
No, it's the Tamar Valley. And at the Gong, Magdalene College came to have 160. Warwick had 200 though. Well, bad luck, Magdalene. You won convincingly on your first appearance in the quarterfinals, and I'm afraid you're going to have to come back again and win again in order to go through to the semis. Warwick, 200 is a terrific score, and we shall look forward to seeing you in the semi-finals. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for watching. I hope you can join us next time for another quarterfinal match. But until then, it's goodbye from Magdalene College, Cambridge.
Goodbye.
It's goodbye from Warwick University.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.